Hey, welcome back to KMMA. I'm Andy O,
And I'm Khalil Deal.
and we are bringing you our predictions and breakdowns for the main card, our early predictions and breakdowns for the main card of UFC Vegas 100. To open up, to give you the rundown, open up the card will be Luana Panero versus Jillian Robertson. Then it'll be Gerald Meerschaert against Riner de Ritter. Following that up, we got Ricky Turcios against Bernardo Sopage. Then we got Karolina Kowalkiewicz against Denise Gomez. In the co-main event, we have Cody Garbrandt against Miles Johns. And main eventing is Neil Magny against Carlos Parates. Real deal. Opening up the card, who you got in this one?
All right, let's look at the first fight here. We got Luana Panero against Jillian Robertson. I got to go with Jillian Robertson here, man. Jillian Robertson is just way better than Luana Panero. Luana Panero actually kind of pissed me off because I had her to win in her last fight, and she disappointed me, man. She fucking disappointed me. I thought she was going to beat Angela Hill in that one. She got subbed in that fight. Looked absolutely horrendous. I was very upset.
And that was the first sub Angela Hill got, I think, in 35 years.
Yeah, she got subbed the first time ever. Gets a sub, and she also looked very bad against Amanda Ribas there. She ended up getting knocked out by a spinning wheel kick. Definitely don't like Luana Pinero, as I was high on her at the beginning when she beat Michelle Waterson Gomez. And also she beat Sam Hughes. So I was like, Randa Marcos, she beat her as well. But that was an illegal upkick. But Jillian Robertson, though, is just a step up in competition. She's a year younger. She's an inch taller, 1 inch reach advantage. She's better in grappling. She's a submission specialist. Luana has, decent striking. Her ground game sucks. Overall, I think Luana Pinero sucks. I'm going with Jillian Robertson to woman handle her, take her down, get on top of her, beat her up a little bit, and get one of her famous submissions. I don't know what she's going to do. It could be an arm triangle. It could be a rear naked choke. It could be a fucking whatever she wants to do. She can get it done. So Jillian Robertson by submission is the pick for me, hands down.
Yeah, man. I'm loving Jillian Robertson these days. I've been a fan of Jillian Robertson since the beginning, and I still think she can get the record in the UFC for subs. So I'm going to have to pick her here. But then again, I don't know. I'm going to be picking her by finish because she seems to have developed a feisty side, especially when she got her most recent knockout, which was against Polyana Viana. That was it. I remember that, but I also remember her pounding the shit out of Michelle Waterson, and she ended up getting a unanimous decision there to send Michelle Waterson off.
Yeah, she retired her.
Yeah, and what a beating it was for your last fight. I don't think too much of Luana Pinero. I do think she's going to woman handle her. I think she's going to get her down. I think she's going to lay the beat on her and either get a sub or a sub or knockout in the second round.
All right, in agreement, man, for sure in this one. Jillian Robertson all the way, man. Just way better than Luana. Luana really pissed me off, man. I thought she was going to be something special, man. Ended up being a flop and got fucking fraud checked on top of it. All right. Moving on up to the next one, we got Gerald Meerschaert against Riner de Ritter.
All right,
Andy O.
Yeah, I'll say it right away. I'm going with GM3, and
Ain't mad at that.
sorry, how many times has GM3 surprised us as a huge dog like this? We'll get into the betting when we do on Friday, but for now, a little bit about de Ritter. I think he's just a little better than Meerschaert on the feet, which really isn't saying much because GM3 seems to have gotten a little worse on the feet. It's the ground where de Ritter wants to be. He wants to get you down with those strikes and sub you out, pound you out. He finds a way to win those fights despite what's happening to him because he's very tough, much like GM3 does. And the fact that he likes going on the ground, I'm not saying he can't sub GM3, very possible. A guy going for what Meerschaert goes for, you leave yourself open to subs too. But man, you're playing with fire. I like this De Ritter, but I'm going to have to go with the old vet GM3, man. I think he'll do what he always does to get this win. He's going to wait until he hits De Ritter with a clumsy shot when De Ritter starts to tire. A little bit, and he's going to pounce on that tiny mistake somewhere and get the sub. That's what I think. I don't care what anyone says. I'm going with Meerschaert on this one. We got real deal.
Okay, so I'm going to say that a couple things to look out for here. Now, Riner De Ritter is a BJJ black belt. He's a very good specialist in submissions. Okay, he has 12 submissions out of his 17 wins. He does have 3 knockouts and a couple decisions. So he is a submission specialist. Now, Gerald Meerschaert is also a submission specialist. Okay. Now, obviously, the two of them are not comparable because Meerschaert's got over 50 fights here. The guy is been in the UFC for so long. He's accumulated 29 submissions. So both of these guys are submission specialists. So it's basically whose BJJ is better. You bet your ass when it comes to the betting, I will be putting some money down on Gerald Meerschaert by submission. I have since I've been watching UFC, I've been putting Gerald Meerschaert by submission on a bet. That's for sure. But I have to say that in this particular fight, a lot of times when you've got 2 good submission specialists, 2 good grapplers, the fight stays on the feet a lot of the time.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else, but go ahead.
They hesitate to go down. They hesitate to take each other down because they know how good each other is on the ground. So a lot of times when you have grappler versus grappler, a lot of times the fight stays standing. So if it stays standing, Riner De Ritter is the better fighter here. He's got better boxing. He's got better striking.
His striking's not that good, though, I'll say, though.
I don't think it's great, okay? But it is better than Gerald Meerschaert.
You're right.
And that's why if the fight stays standing for a long time in the fight, Ritter will get a lot more strikes landed. I'm not saying that he's going to win the fight because of that. I'm just saying that he'll get more strikes landed if the fight stays on the feet. Now, if the fight goes to the ground, it's a 50-50 toss-up. Whose BJJ is better? Who's going to get the submission? It's going to be a lot of tossing and rumbling around on the ground if it does go down. It's going to be one of those fights where you're going to see high-level grappling and high-level jiu-jitsu in this one. Gerald Meerschaert, though, let's not forget, he has been subbed 8 freaking times. And so Riner could get a submission on him, and that's very live because he has been subbed 8 times, Meerschaert. Now, Riner De Ritter, on the other hand, has only lost twice, and he has never been submitted, okay? It's something to look at there. I'm going to pick Riner De Ritter to win this one by decision or submission, but of course I'm going to put a bet on Gerald Meerschaert by submission in the bets when we come talk about that on Friday. You have to. I've been doing it all the time. It can definitely happen.
No, you got to be crazy if you don't at this point.
Exactly. You have to put a bet on Meerschaert by submission. The guy is 29 subs. You cannot beat
what won a Pearl most recently, So
it's like I think he's got the most subs in the UFC history for sure. 29 submissions is insane. I think he's going to go for a 30th one this weekend if he gets it. But I got the slight lean on Riner De Ritter. I think that if Riner doesn't get subbed by Gerald Meerschaert, he wins the fight. That's basically how I'm looking at it. If he doesn't get subbed by him, he'll win the fight. Why? Because of the volume of strikes landed compared to Meerschaert. Riner is a better striker. He'll get more strikes landed there. So we're in disagreement, but not really in disagreement.
Meerschaert does have that very powerful leg kick that he winds up, but it comes so slow. I wonder if it'll make an appearance. I'm going to start waiting for it right now so I don't miss it.
Yeah, for sure. Meerschaert, he's not like terrible at striking. I mean, he's got some strikes of his own there. It's not. He doesn't put out enough volume when it comes to striking. He will go for your leg right away and go for the takedown right away. Whereas Riner, he can stay on the feet a little bit longer and strike it out. And I also like the 3-inch height advantage for Riner to Ritter, which is something significant. And also I do like the 2-inch reach advantage also for Riner. All right, so we're in disagreement, but not really in disagreement. But I got the slight lean on Riner here. All right, let's move on up to the next fight. We got Ricky Turos against Bernardo Sopaj here. So for this one here, I wanted to go for Ricky Turos so badly, man. With speaking with friends, doing research, watching tape, I got to go with Bernardo Sopaj. He's going to be stronger. He's also very good on the ground as well, this guy. He's also pretty good at subs as well. Ricky Turos, though, I just find that he hasn't been fighting as good as he used to, like earlier in his career. He seems to be, going downhill, sort of speak. That last fight didn't look good against Raul Rosas Jr., where he got subbed in there. In that fight, also the fight against Ayman Zahabi, which we've just seen recently, he lost a unanimous decision there. He did get a win on Kevin Natividad and Brady Highstand, which is a decent win, but that was also a split decision. He hasn't been really winning much against like the tough opponents. So Bernardo, I think, is going to be too much for him to handle here. His forward pressure isn't going to work on Bernardo. I think Bernardo is going to land some tough punches. He's very strong. He's got some power in his hands. He looked really good in that last fight against Vinicius Oliveira. He did get knocked out, but he looked good in that fight. And Vinicius Oliveira is a beast. So I'm going to go with Bernardo Sopaj to get a win by knockout or even by submission, because he does have some subs, Bernardo. So I think he gets the finish here. What about you, Andio?
I just think Ricky Turos is too wonky everywhere. I couldn't think of a better word. He really tries. He should be better at striking than Sopaj, but I think Sopaj may be a bit better on the feet. And like he seems to have good grappling, but not people can still get him down. And I think Sopaj is going to make it hard for him when he does get him down. And he's going to threaten with the sub. He's going to get some control because Turos has a hard time scrambling around down there trying to make something happen. But he really doesn't most of the time. And I think he's going to win it by control time and just pounding him up slowly. So I'm going to give it to Sopaj because Turos is pretty hard to put away. So I'm going to leave it at decision or knockout for Sopaj. Probably
since Turos has been in the UFC, he's only won by decision. So he's not really getting finishes. However, Bernardo Sopaj, man, this guy's a finisher. He's got 11 wins, 7 by knockout, 3 by submission. So, he's a finisher. He's only got 1 win by decision. I think that the finish is live here. He's just a bigger guy, more powerful, more muscular. He's going to be tougher, and I think he's just going to hit harder. And I think he could land something on Ricky Turos there, maybe finish him off there with a knockout or a submission if he gets him on the ground, which is most likely to happen. All right, so we're in agreement with this one here. Let's move on up to the next fight here. We got Karolina Kowalkiewicz, against Denise Gomez. I'm going to use the same. Is it your turn or mine? Sorry.
I believe it's me. I think.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to pull a good old rabbit out of the old hat here because I'm going to go with the old wench on this one, baby. I'm going to go with Karolina Kowalkiewicz
I had a feeling to go with her.
Based on the fact, man, that even when you take the betting, and leave it alone, she has a lot more experience. I believe her craftiness is gonna is going to help her stay away from that power threat that Denise Gomez really, really relies on too much, I feel. And I don't think Denise Gomez is one of the best up-and-comers out there. Like, we've seen better ones that are around the same age as her, even younger. So I think Carolina's going to come here determined. She was on that nice run before she lost that last fight, and I really think she has the experience, and she's going to know where to place those takedowns, and she's going to end up getting Denise Gomez down. Denise Gomez is going to get a little frustrated. Now, I'm not saying for sure that KK is going to get a decision here. A finish here, which he's not. She's getting that decision. It's going to be very close, but I think it's going to be a matter of avoiding those power shots and just getting a little more volume overall and being smart, using the takedowns when she has to, being very smart defensively, because that's the worry here is Denise Gomez's power, because she's, look at her, there you go. Who you got, real deal?
I'm going to use my strategy, which is to go for the one that looks more like a man. I am going for Denise Gomez. I'm going for the more manly looking woman in this fight. One thing you did say right is that Carolina Kowalkiewicz does have experience. She's freaking 40 years old. She must have experience at that age. Listen, Denise Gomez, I like who she's fought. Listen, Carolina, let's not lie to ourselves here and think that Carolina has fought the top of the top, the cream of the crop. No, she has not. No, she has not. She fought Felice Herrig.
Okay, we'll go back.
Okay, she fought Silvana Gomez Juarez. She fought Vanessa Demopoulos, which I'll give you is decent. Vanessa Demopoulos is looking good. And then Diana Bilbita, which is trash. And Yasmin Lucindo is also fairly decent there. So out of her last 5 fights, we're going to say Yasmin Lucindo was probably the best fight that she had. The other ones are all pretty terrible, other than Vanessa Demopoulos. Now, on the other side here, I like who Denise Gomez has fought. She's fought Loma Lukbumi, who's actually a very, very good fighter, who's got some good skills. She's fought Bruna Brazil, got the knockout on her. Bruna Brazil's a high prospect. Yasmin Yaragri, 10-0, undefeated, top prospect, beat her.
What, that skinny one there? It's not 10-0 anymore.
Well, no, not anymore, but...
Oh, she's that chinny one that got, knocked out just recently.
Yeah, she's 10-1 now. And Angela Hill.
10-2.
10-2. Angela Hill, okay, that's another top-notch fighter there. And Eduarda Mora, who's also undefeated, now has 1 loss because of Denise Gomez. So Denise Gomez fought some pretty tough fighters. 15-year difference, man. This is real age gap here. I see Denise Gomez having the better gas tank. I see Denise Gomez being stronger. She's manlier. She's tougher. She's going to punch harder than Carolina Kowalkiewicz. I like Denise Gomez getting this win here by a landslide. I say she's going to win by unanimous decision, maybe even a knockout. Carolina, she's on the downhill now. She's up there in age. She did go on a good winning streak there, but against lower level fighters in the UFC. Diana Belbita is trash. Silvana Gomez Juarez, not that great. Felice Herrig is trash. And Vanessa Demopoulos is decent. So it's not that great, her last wins. So I like Denise Gomez here. I think she's going to outpower her, man. Just outpower her and land the harder punches and do more damage. And Carolina cuts up very quickly too. Her face gets cut, bruises up pretty fast. You'll see that in this fight. She's going to get bruised up and cut up pretty fast on her face if she gets a lot of punches landed on her. So we're in disagreement in this one. Let's move on up to the next fight here. We got Cody Garbrandt against Miles Johns. This is one where I'm going to have to say that it's very close, the odds of this one. I just don't trust Cody Garbrandt's chin. He's very chinny. Miles Johns is really good, I find. He's got great grappling and wrestling. He's pretty powerful. He's got good striking. I think he lands something hard on Cody Garbrandt and maybe knocks him out. And I think he can also take down Cody Garbrandt get control time with his wrestling, and maybe even get a ground and pound. Miles Johns has been looking really good lately. Douglas Silva de Andrade, he beat him by unanimous decision. He beat Cody Gibson by unanimous decision. Beat Vince Morales as well. The no contest there against Dan Argueta. I think that one was, I forgot, maybe it was because somebody had some like drug use or something, like whatever. That's why that fight was a no contest. But anyways, Cody Garbrandt, on the other hand, lost to Davidson Figueiredo in his last fight by rear naked choke. The fights before that were, shittier opponents, Brian Kelleher and Trevin Jones. But then he lost to Kai Kara France by knockout, and Rob Font styled on him. So I got to go with Miles Johns here in this one. I'm going with Chapo to knock out Cody Garbrandt. What about you, Andy?
Yeah, so Miles Johns, never the biggest fan of Miles Johns, but he can grapple. He's very simple, but it's very effective when it's at his best, where he uses his simple striking to implement his takedowns. I'm picking Miles Johns here. I think we'll see some success with that. I don't know how long he's going to be able to hold Johns down there. Garbrandt is a very good wrestler. Also, he's very fast. He's a pretty good athlete, Garbrandt, but he just doesn't fight the same, man. He takes care of his chin a little too much, and which he should, obviously, the way he's been brutally knocked out 4 times. But he it was also the best part of Cody Garbrandt when he kind of let caution to the wind sometimes. I suspect a couple Superman-style punches from Cody Garbrandt. I expect Cody Garbrandt to get a little frustrated, and when he does, he may leave himself open to getting chinned by one of those John shots in close. But I think it's going to be a hard fight. I think it's probably going to go to decision, with Johns getting more takedowns and just keeping it smart and simple on the feet and getting some good body strikes in there to slow Garbrandt down. So give me Johns by... I'll just say knockout first, because I don't trust Garbrandt's chin. So knockout or decision.
I'll tell you one thing: Cody Garbrandt is a bigger dog now. Miles Johns is the favorite. So Cody Garbrandt, because of the fact that he does have some power and he is kind of slick, he might make the dog list. We'll talk about that on Friday's show with the betting. But Miles Johns is the pick for me. Let's also mention one thing too, is that Miles Johns for once is not going to be the tiny guy in the in this fight for once. He's always fighting bigger guys than him, and now he's actually going to be fighting somebody the same height. So that's.
I'm going to check that.
All right, let's move on up to the main event of the evening, man. Neil Magny versus Carlos Prates.
Yeah, here, man. You always try to find a way for Neil Magny to come through in a fight like this, especially considering his value. But I don't think he's going to be able to contend with the slickness and the timing of Carlos Prates' striking. And I'm just having a look back here to see the last up-and-coming guy that Magny shut down. And that wasn't that long ago. That was Mike Malott, where he shut down and derailed Malot's hype train. But who was it?
Malott fought really stupid in that one.
Who was it before that, though? Like Gary was that guy, trying to get through the gatekeeper, and look what he did to Magny, right?
Philip Rowe, though. He beat Philip Rowe.
Philip Rowe, not an up-and-coming guy, though, So Shavkat Rakhmonov, he had a chance right there. Shavkat ran right through him, I believe, right? So he's not really stopping these up-and-comers like he used to anymore. I think he's slowing down a little bit, Neil Magny. Prates, man, he'll get lots more damage. I just see him out-damaging Magny, maybe early, maybe getting the finish early. And he's already taken a lot of damage, Neil Magny. He'll never stop taking the fights he does. He wants to rack those up, but the wins are going to get a little farther and further between. If you're looking for a way for Prates to maybe lose this fight, you got to think about his cardio, because he hasn't really fought anyone long. Maybe leg shots would stop him, but Prates is going to murder Magny with his leg shots. So I don't know, like maybe Pratis will tire out, but he fights in a very loose, calm style that unless you really pressure him and an awesome takedown artist, which Magny isn't, I don't think he'll get really tired. That's just a hunch. So yeah, give me Pratis by knockout.
Yeah, same here, man. I got to go with Carlos Prates. Let's not forget those fighting nerds
Oh,
coming out of the fighting nerds, man. You know,
I forgot to mention them. Yes,
guy
the
trains
fight.
with Caio Barrayo. There's no way Neil Magny's going to be better at takedowns and grappling than Caio Barrayo. These guys train together all the time. So Carlos Prates is used to fighting with guys training with guys that are good at grappling and good at submissions. I see Carlos Prates fending off those takedowns from Neil Magny. Neil Magny's going to try to get the fight to the cage in the clinch, try to get him against the clinch and do what he does best, which is those knees and those elbows and try to fucking take him down. But I don't see him doing it to Carlos Prates, man. Carlos Prates, the guy's got the Muay Thai tattooed on his chest, man. This guy is a top-notch Muay Thai fighter. His striking is relentless. His leg kicks. Let's not forget Neil Magny's got chicken legs. The kicks from Prates are going to hurt those chicken legs, might put him off balance, maybe even knock him down a couple of times with those leg kicks. Kicks to the body are very nice. He's got nice high kicks as well to the head. Good straight punches, good straight jabs, which will hurt Magny. Magny, we've seen him get rocked when he gets hit in the head. So I really like Carlos Prates here to win. I say he wins a decision or a knockout. Neil Magny, though, a little sprinkle when we talk about the betting, a little sprinkle on Neil Magny by decision. The guy has 17 decisions out of his 29 wins. I want to see what that value is for the decision for Magny. Might be worth a little sprinkle. But Carlos Prates is the pick for sure here in this one. So there you have it, folks. Our early predictions for the main card.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Stay tuned on Friday. We got some special videos coming out soon from Andy O, who's got a shorts video coming out. We check that out, folks. And like and subscribe. We're working on the channel, and my boy Andy O is working hard on the channel as well, man, making it better. So like and subscribe. Leave some comments for the algorithm. Come on.
The algorithm.
Peace out, folks. KAMMA.